Check it out, guys. Look what I scored. Well, it's been a few weeks just getting around and doing the video. I got Star Trek Tops, the original 1976 series cards, and Star Trek 365, the original series. That's the replacement book for the making of Star Trek currently. So, let's dive in. Now, if you remember seeing the video for Star Wars, you notice I got top Star Wars cards. And this is the same thing with Star Trek. It's got the wax paper, the way the cards came in. Still the bubble gum. And of course in the back of it, the bubble gum you normally would get. Kind of cool, huh? So this came out in 76. In the back, oh, I just want to show you this. I didn't get a chance to show you this from the Star Wars books because I didn't notice it until after I made a video. But it does come with some bonus limited edition cards. Kind of cool, huh? Alright. So, let's see what we got. Just like the other books, shows you a little cutout for the stickers. This one came out in 2010, I believe. No, 2013, sorry. And this is the 10th edition. And it talks about the cards and how they came about. Basically, they're about ready to promote Star Trek, the motion picture. So this came out in 76. So for 10 cents, little man, get the Star Trek in your hand. And I sure shit brought a lot of Star Trek cards, because I won them all. And this is the very first card. In a world of the not so distant future, Earth science combines human courage and hurtles huge, majestic starships into space for the purpose of exploration. The USS Enterprise, commanded by Captain Pike, Christopher Pike, and finally by James T. Kirk, was dispatched by the United Federation of Planets to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. And then the music kicks in. But if you noticed here, it talks about, be sure to watch out for the new Star Trek full motion picture. So each card has a little explanation about their character behind the scenes. I'll let you pause that and figure it out. And it goes to each of the main characters. And what's cool is that it has all the cards that I collected. I don't know about you guys, but I used to collect these. That's how I got my info. But this was a little bit different. It just talked about the show and the differences of the, characters, and part of the characters was the spaceship. Talks about the Galileo 7. And it was kind of cool. And towards the back here, let me flip through. It also shows all the stickers. Oh yeah, here's the last card. For those who did not know, the last card was Star Trek Liz, talking about the series. And moving on. Pretty cool, huh? And of course goes into all of the stickers. I remember getting the Enterprise sticker and the Romulan stickers and making battle them out on my notepad. Had some freaky creatures. Mirror, mirror. That was a cool episode. That's how Klingons look when I was growing up. Quite not sure what happened. Oh yeah, and there's the Romulan vessel. And they also even told you how to peel off the sticker, which is kind of funky to me because you could figure that one out. And the back end of the card. And there's your bonus cards. Pretty cool. Alright. Shoot it back in. Fine. Okay. Now, Star Trek 365. This is so fucking awesome. So, for those who remember having the making of Star Trek, this is the most definitive collection. Because it has not only more behind the scenes info, but it talks about just a lot more stuff. I mean, a lot more publicity stills, behind the scenes stills. I mean, it is pretty badass. Not sure who read some of that. Let you guys pause it and try to read that. But it's kind of cool. I mean, let me flip this here a little bit. It's got every episode and every breakdown. It's got behind the scenes stuff. Oh, look. When you're first in color, there's gotta be a reason. Advertisement for them being in color. And like I said, it breaks down all the episodes. Tons of behind the scenes publicity pictures. I mean, cat's paw. I mean, it's pretty badass. Let's see if I could find while I was thumbing through. Tons of behind the scenes looks, pictures, and what's going on. I remember watching these episodes as a kid and wondering what was going on behind the scenes. And the making of Star Trek was the best book that was out back in, I believe, 67 or 68 it was released. And it goes, oh, there's a current still from the motion picture. So it kind of blends in everything. And these pictures are beautiful. I mean, there's a picture of Star Trek of the Botany Bay. If you're a Trekkie, you want to know more about behind the scenes, this is way cooler than the making. And it even goes through, let me see if I can find it. I've been reading a lot about this. And, oh yeah, it's got little diagrams from how they're going to do the scene. And, you know, and there's the merchandise. Talk about the game, models, Who remembers this utility belt? Shot little discs out. We had the walkie-talkies and the action figures. I mean, it was pretty cool. Oh yeah. Who doesn't remember the action figures? If you're a Trekkie, you got the action figures. And if you're fortunate enough, you were able to afford the communicator and the tricorders. That was just freaking badass. Here's all the comic books. Oh, and that's the book I was telling you about, The Making of Star Trek. So, there's a lot out there. A lot to bring you into that world. And of course, promo pictures from the Comic Cons soon to be happening. They were just called conventions. It's pretty badass. Muds, women. They just had killer costumes and. Oh yeah, and this is when they named the Enterprise for the first space shuttle. Hell yeah, I remember that like yesterday. Kind of cool. Oh yes, and this is when the Smithsonian got the actual Enterprise that was used on the set. And man, they had to x-ray it, find out all the wiring so they could duplicate the coloring and the wiring and just make sure they don't ruin what was there left to work with. Kind of cool, huh? And this book came out in 2013, I believe. So, little story behind this. My very first convention, I met Grace Lee Whitney, and she did this for me. She had autographed a picture for me. Told her I was a huge fan. It was right before Star Trek 3 was going to come out. And we bonded for a moment, and she signed this. It's kind of cool. I was not in line. I was just a kid interested in Star Trek and said, I recognize you. And told her my side of how I was interested in Star Trek. So, just wanted to share that with you, boys and girls. No matter who you meet, they're genuine, laid back, and cool. She's a cool chick. So, to wrap it up, Star Trek, the original Topps cards, highly recommend to get if you collected it. And Star Trek 365, original series, totally recommend that if you were into the making of Star Trek. Love that book. This is a very detailed and very thick book. Alright guys, I'm back out of here. Very happy with these books and able to go back in time. I'm going to go do some reading. Layers, guys. Live long and prosper.